I have the pleasure and the schus to have with me on my computer screen Rabbi Zecharia Resnik. Shmoy Helich Lefanov, everybody recognizes him besides for his shir. When I say besides, the shir is the most important. For his introduction, for his enthusiasm, for his well wishes at the end of his shir. But Rabbi Zecharia is doing a fantastic, fantastic job. He has thousands of people listening to his shir around the world. And with today's technology, amazing where you could have Talmidim and how you could connect to people. However, Maseches Yevamos is starting in a few days. And for some reason, for good reason, Maseches Yevamos is a considerably harder Masechta than the Masechtas we've been learning till now. Although I can't say everything in Moed has been easy. But we're starting Yevamos, and people are worried how they're going to keep up. So I want to have a brief discussion with Zecharia, how he plans on teaching Yevamos. Zecharia, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, Reb Moshe. Always more wonderful when I get to see you. That's first of all.
Wow. Okay, so I'm assuming you already have started preparing Yevamos, and how's it been going so far?
That's a fine assumption. I'm a little bit into Yevamos. About 2 weeks into Yevamos. I can't say I'm 2 weeks worth of dafim into Yevamos, but about 2 weeks into the sugyas, into the gemaras. And I'll be honest with you, the first week, my head was literally spinning. I didn't know what hit me. And I had to reach into the recesses of my memory and realize that I did feel this before. It was a little bit of a deja vu. And then I realized that we had this by Erevin probably, certain sugyas and psachim. And really, as you said, scattered throughout Mayed. Mayed's not a walk in the park. People are like, oh, Mayed, it's so easy. Not a walk in the park. Let's not forget about the sugyas and chagiga that we just had a few short daf ago, Ma'aser Merkava, as if anyone really grasped what I was talking about. We're not allowed to go into Ma'aser Merkava, so we don't. We kind of breeze over it. The Talmud Torah sugyas that we're holding in aren't so simple either. So we always have to remember that even though Mayid seems to be easier, it's not so much easier. Something that gave me encouragement as I was getting into it is something I read in the Reb Shlomo Freifeld biography, fantastic biography, and he writes over there that Reb Shlomo used to encourage his Talmidim when they got to difficult Gemaras or when Gemara was just difficult for them in the first place. He would say, the next daf is not harder, it's just different. It's not harder, it's just different. And it's hard to realize that it's not harder, it's just different. When you jump into Yevamos, they start throwing these complicated cases at you. If you look at all these charts and diagrams, they can literally have your head up and down and who knows what, because they have these arrows going here and going there and up and down. You're trying to piece all these names together, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yocheved, Miriam, Sarah, Leah, and you can't keep track. It's just different. It is a little hard. You got to be able to halt cup, got to be able to pay attention, a little bit more of a focus, a little bit more of attention span. But in large part, it's just different. Takes a little bit of time getting used to, but it's not so bad.
Very, very good. Very well said. I like to say, I make an assumption, I don't have any evidence to back me up. The person who's learning Daf Yomi has in a allotted amount of time how much he's spending learning the Daf, for the good or for the bad. I think these are the facts. And therefore, he's probably not going to spend much more time learning Yevamos than he did learning Masechtas Megillah or Masechtas Shabbos. So it's just the focus, the concentration, and you may have to focus and concentrate more. But at the end of the day, it's Torah, and if you focus and give it your best, we all know there's a special siyata d'shmaya. That Hashem gives kayach to wherever it's needed. And when you learn Yevamos, you can have that special siyata d'shmaya. Whether you use the picture book, you don't use the picture book, it makes it more complicated, it makes it easier for you. Everyone's going to learn the same way. It sounds like from what you've just said, the picture book is not necessarily something that you feel is a necessity and something you need to have to learn Yevamos. It may be easier for some people to have it themselves and figure it out themselves.
That's most definitely true. And also, I found that at first, for definitely the first few daf, from daf Gimel to daf Ches, we have a big, long running sugya going across 5 daf. I found that at least what was helpful for me is if I knew what the structure of the Gemara was, the specific cases weren't as important. Obviously, every word of Torah is important and every word of Torah is precious. We have to make sure we get every line of the Gemara. But so as not to get caught up in the nitty-gritty details, if you have the structure of the Gemara, it lightens it. It opens it up. You're like, wait, I get what the Gemara is trying to do. Now we can get to the specifics. You don't get every last detail and every last point. Okay, not the biggest deal. At least you got the general idea of what's going on, and that makes it easier and lighter, and gives you more of an encouragement to be able to get through the daf, make it to the next one and the next one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is very, very important for many people, and the idea here is not to have a long conversation. Someone here mentioned people need Yevamos therapy, so this is a little bit of a therapy session. Everyone should take it easy. Yevamos is coming. You'll all make it through it, and if you have Zecharia Resnik at your fingertips, just at the click of a button, whether you find them on Oldaf or on your WhatsApp chat, wherever you find him, he's there. He'll be there with the same encouragement, the same fire. Any last words to share?
Well, you said it amazing. We'll all make it through it, and we're not just going to make it through it. We're gonna plow through it. We're gonna do it with a bren, with a geschmack, and we're gonna own the Masechta as much as we can. We're gonna own it as much as we can. It's a long journey, but it's gonna be a geschmack journey that we're gonna do together.
And let's close it out. We're gonna be Messiahim Shas together.
Shas together, and everyone should have a wonderful day.
Thank you so very much.